I'm Ramsey, the loud one.
I'm Jesse, the short one.
Put us both into one, we are.
Lots of noise, always too fast, lots of laughs. Here's our podcast, the loud and short of it.
Hi, and welcome to the loud and short of it. I'm Ramsey, the loud one.
And I'm Jesse, the short one. And this week, we're back with another 30-minute long variety hour.
My favorites.
Yes, and we are going to stick with the traditions from last month of doing just 5 articles that we get way more in depth with instead of 10 that we talk about for literally 3 minutes each.
Yep.
Because that was terrible and none of you liked it.
When you came out in the living room and you said, wait, we used to do this for 3-minute articles each, and I was like, no, that's ridiculous.
We listen to the people. Yeah, let's get into it. We're going to start with politics, just right off the bat, just the fucking happiest things that we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, we've got unemployment benefits, which I'm sure tons of our listeners and viewers are on and desperately need during these terrible fucking times.
Yeah.
And as you know, for the past 6 months, 4 months, somewhere around there, everybody's been getting $600 extra a week of unemployment benefits. So basically what you would be getting if you worked $15 minimum wage, 40 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been going as good as it can. I'm not going to say great. People are obviously not doing well, but that is a good safety net to keep people from becoming homeless, as we're going to see coming up, and the eviction notices and everything else. Moral of the story, all of that shit is coming to a close basically this month.
When did it already expire? Because I thought it was last week, or did people get one more claim?
It basically, people can't claim anymore, but there'll still be one more check coming, I believe, with that money in it. But that being said, we're losing that. Basically, a lot of cities had patchwork saying you can't evict until this date, but there's no federal guarantee on that. And some states have it, and other states don't. For example, Texas, at this point, you can get evicted. Now, Austin says that's not true. You got 2 more months. But that's being battled in court right now because the state of Texas, small government, is saying that local can't override state policies. And they had the gall. This isn't even what the article is about. But they had the gall to be like, you can't set up this random patchwork where different cities have different rules on evictions. And we're like, how the fuck else do you do it if you won't give eviction bans? Like, this doesn't work.
What's the fucking point of local government?
Yeah. It's patchwork for a reason, you fucking idiots.
Yeah. So what it sounds like is that everything's coming to an end, and that geniusly they're waiting until, I don't know how all of it works. I'm involved politically because you have to be. Mm-hmm. So they're having the meeting this week.
So this is what's been going on. The House passed a couple different bills that either delay evictions, they extend some unemployment benefits, not quite 600, but 400 and things similar to that, and all kinds of different stuff to keep the economy going, keep people in their houses, keep everyone, keep as many people as possible from suffering as much as possible. Past the House, goes into the Senate, where everything dies. Then the Democrats are spending, I believe it is $3.4 trillion. This is like a direct stimulus to the people package to states and local cities to spend as they see fit, which would go more to the people than just staying with the federal government. But Republicans wouldn't sign that bill. They said, no, too much money. So the Democrats started negotiating, whining. They got it down to $2.4 million. Republicans said, no, not signing that fucking bill. That's ridiculous. We'll never fucking sign something like that. What did the Democrats do? They whined and bitched and did nothing about it, and they're still in negotiations with Mitch McConnell. Instead of calling him a fucking monster, they just want to keep negotiating, keep the peace, and work across the fucking aisle.
Nancy Pelosi, master negotiator.
Just
apparently.
Amazing negotiator that we've been hearing about for 20 years as the country slowly plunges into fucking dictatorship. Anyways, so all of this is going on, and then Donald Trump just out of the blue is like, I'm just going to executive order this shit, which absolutely is legally not allowed. He cannot do that. But in addition to giving $400 in additional benefits, that has to come $100 of it from individual states. And then one of the House representatives said that in addition to the states having to give $100, Trump can waive that fee depending on which state, which means red states, he'd obviously let them get the money, and blue states he'd fuck over and then blame it on the Democrats. It would be the most partisan bullshit ever. And in addition to all this, he wants to make a payroll tax cut which even Republicans are like, this is the dumbest idea. Because basically what that means, all of us would probably pay 10%, or low-income people would probably pay 10% less on taxes a year. But it would mean that 10 years from now...
We need money now.
Yeah, from 10 years from now, there's not going to be Social Security.
Yeah.
There's not going to be Medicare. There's not going to be fucking anything. Because that's where a lot of that money comes from. Because we don't tax the rich the way you should.
Yeah. It sounds like just a ton of, like, quick patchwork to just be... Because, like, I've seen this on Twitter, like, 100 fucking times where people are just like, wow, Trump is crossing over and fucking, like, going farther left than the Democrats will. And I'm just like, not really, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's fucking us in the long term.
But that is a valid argument because from the Democrat side, we have a couple people from, like, the Squad and whatnot that have come out, and Nina Turner and a couple state people, like lesser-known people that have come out and said...
Explain the Squad real quick.
The Squad is AOC, Rashida Tlaib, and two other
That's
people.
That's
I'm not
good. You know
get the
who's
name
related to these people.
Yeah. It's 4 women. They're all in the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
They are all very progressive. They follow very similar to the Bernie ideologies. They've come together with a couple state people, and they've said, we would like to give a $2,000 UBI to every single American until coronavirus is over and give it back pay for the past 6 months. So every American would get $12,000. Every family would get $12,000 and then $2,000 a month going forward. Which you can say, like, oh, that's socialist or whatever you want. It would also be the best thing for the economy fucking ever. Everyone would be spending it. People wouldn't be saving, which causes these businesses to fail. It causes everything to go shits up.
Another part of the issue with that is that, and it was honestly, I was one of the people who was the fucking problem. Like, whenever we got stimulus checks, like, everyone paid off their debt. And, like, it didn't go back in the economy. So, like, with the $12,000 back pay and then $2,000 going forward, like, obviously it's not going to go on forever. So it's not going to be we're not going to be under a socialist state. They're not going to sneak it in. But it's like, I don't see why that's a huge fucking problem temporarily.
Nonetheless, that is not a huge fucking problem with the general populace. Generally speaking, that kind of action during Corona is what is going to win the 2020 election and what is going to get you voters. But Nancy Pelosi, the amazing fucking negotiator she is, would never take that stand, would never try to appeal to the people more than Republicans. Instead, she's just going to argue with Mitch McConnell for 8 weeks, and then Trump can step in, do this half-ass patchwork, and I'm not going to lie, he's the one that's the closest to getting something done for people. Because Nancy would have done this for another 8 fucking weeks. Millions more people would lose their job. Millions more people will be homeless. And then she'll make some bullshit deal with Mitch McConnell where they'll give $20 billion to Apple, Elon Musk, and Facebook. And then they'll give, like, $100 extra to only people that meet these requirements in unemployment. So it's just, like, fucking useless.
And scary.
The best part of the article is just the way that it ends by still framing this as if Nancy Pelosi knows what she's doing and giving her the last quote. And she's just like, well, you guys, I am a master negotiator. You just don't understand how this works.
It's good.
And ma'am, we've been not understanding you for for longer than 12 years, and you've been fucking up the entire time.
I like how the interviewer is just like, so wouldn't you say you fucked this one up? She's like, no.
Not at all.
Like, Jesus, dude. I have zero faith in Democrats. I have zero faith in Republicans. Everything's fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't have a ton to say on this one because I don't know as much as him, but holy fuck, reading this article made me want to fucking eat lead.
I'm going to butcher this name, but Shahid Buttar is running against Nancy Pelosi in California to steal her seat. And the way that California does their primaries, or not their primaries, that does their actual elections, allows 2 Democrats to be running against each other. So that's what's going on for her seat.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting, because if that happens, we get a new Speaker of the House. Things could really change.
Been hearing that for years, baby.
No kidding.
Been hearing that since 2008.
But we have seen, I'm not going to get into all the specifics, because this, as you wouldn't know from the past 10 minutes, is not a politics podcast. But there were massive gains in the past week in special elections and primary elections for the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Young people are coming for the throats of House representatives and senators across the entire fucking country, and it's really awesome to see.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But it's just, as many people have said, it's not going to happen at the president's level.
Yeah.
That's a pipe dream, and it's never going to work. What's going to happen is local politics is going to slowly build all the way up until entire states are running the progressive ideologies, and then it might happen in the presidency.
Well, we got to move on to the next thing, but I just want to say you did a fantastic fucking job.
Thank you
that was
very much.
awesome. Now we're going into something way more important that you have. You're not You're more than obligated to be interested in this, and it's video games.
Yes.
So PlayStation this week, back in let's go back. In June, they released Death Stranding, which was a PlayStation exclusive that came out last year.
So proud of you for getting that one out.
It was hard. Oh my god, I need to drink water. And then 2 days ago, August 7th, whatever. Horizon Zero Dawn was another PlayStation exclusive that got dropped on PC.
Oh, is that out fully now?
Yeah.
I didn't even get that from the article.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's but the thing is, the bigger thing about this article is that it's kind of more about the way they're bringing these to PC. It's very weird, and I don't understand exactly why. A lot of people have been saying it's more of a marketing move because the messaging with Horizon Zero Dawn was, can't wait for PC players to enjoy Aloy's adventure. Please follow us for the sequel only on PS5.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how good this marketing is going to be because any PC player is going to play that and be like, okay, well, fuck Horizon 2. I don't care.
Also, people are used, or at least I know a lot of PC players that don't play the games the day they come out. So you're going to get a lot of PC players that are going to play Horizon Zero Dawn and be like, they're going to release the second one like 3 years from now. And they're going to be like, I'm not worried about that. I have 1,000 games I got for $2.
The biggest thing that cuts to me, too, is just like, one, I'm a huge Sony fanboy. It's just true. These are two weird fucking picks. Why is Death Stranding coming to PC? That seemed like something that should have lived on PS5. Like, that was the perfect poster child for, like, we make weird fucking shit. Microsoft is cornered shooters, but everyone has fucking shooters.
Yeah.
But we make weird shit that somehow dips into the fucking mainstream. Death Stranding's about fucking delivering packages, and you shoot demons sometimes. And for some reason, that game was fucking trending on Twitter for weeks.
Yeah.
And it cuts into, like, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a super weird fucking, like, metal dinosaur game where you shoot them with arrows, and it was a fucking huge hit. And it just seems weird that these are the ones being brought to PC when the biggest mainstream hits like Uncharted. I feel like that's what should live here because those are very old games with a complete narrative. So if you drop Uncharted 1 through 4 on PC, and then, like, I don't know, some other shit, and then, like, Last of Us 1 and 2, like, 5 years from now, I feel like that makes a ton more sense than using this as a marketing ploy for PS5.
I can't disagree with you on any fucking point there. So I'll just hop into some of the other stuff that they bring up in it. I mean, I guess let's finish the exclusive argument, which we've brought up many times on the podcast. I'm sure you love listening to it. And if you don't, fuck you. I don't see any other way for Sony to do it. The releasing of a few on PC, I don't understand why they picked those games. I can't defend any of that. But them having the exclusives, as much as it kind of hurts the consumer, what else is Sony to do in this situation? Because Microsoft, when they're like it's out on Xbox and PC, they still make money on the PC. Yeah. Because, like, that's literally when people say PC, they mean it runs Microsoft. They don't mean a Mac. They don't mean Linux. They mean Microsoft, Windows, not Microsoft. But they make money on either end, so I get it. But Sony, this is their only way. Which leads into the other part of this article that I thought was super cool and I'm ridiculously excited for. They talk about how they are now going to leverage all of Sony's intellectual property. And they didn't just say, like, from Uncharted forward. They were, like, from the past 25 years of Sony video games. And that's now going to start being made into TV shows and movies, which they've already announced Uncharted.
Yeah, dude.
And a couple other things. And Uncharted has
Tom Holland.
Yeah, the Spider-Man guy, and it's got Mark Wahlberg. It sounds fucking awesome.
This movie has been out for so long, or has been in the works, has literally for like 10 years.
I'm going to tell you right now, they could release a giant pile of dog shit, and if it has, like, one fun, silly, goofy reference to the video game, I'm just going to be like, this is a good movie. Yeah. I'm happy right now.
It is a weird thing that, like, PlayStation is doing because I feel like this is another thing they're dipping their toes in because they started with that wide franchise of, like, selling out their IPs. Like, HBO is making a Last of Us show.
Yeah.
They're making the Uncharted movie. But, like, they did this with, like, Ratchet and Clank. They made, like, a huge animated fucking movie that flopped. And fuck y'all. And that, like, with a tie-in with the reboot, that was super successful. So I feel like they just keep making these, like, little tests that haven't worked out super well. And then they're just, like, diving straight in.
Well, I feel like in those situations, did they try to run it all, or did they just sell off the property rights for one movie and let somebody run with it?
Well, it's the same thing of just like so with HBO and Last of Us, that's a little different. But the Sony Uncharted movie, that's all done by Sony Pictures, and the Ratchet and Clank movie was done by Sony Pictures. So I imagine all the movie stuff is going to live in Sony.
So we know that those ones are going to be dog shit, but these TV shows, they have potential.
Yeah,
you give the writers at HBO the intellectual property, and then you let the people that made the video games put in like give yes no privileges to be like, you're not allowed to do that, you're allowed to do this. It could be fucking amazing. And not just it seems like it's destined to be.
I don't know if this is 100% true, but didn't Sony make Breaking Bad, and then they it was distributed by AMC?
No idea, man.
We'll find that out.
I'll dive into the politics, and you'll dive into the producers and directors.
I care very deeply. But yeah, I feel like Horizon is, and I got Horizon Zero Dawn because I am a Sony slut, and it's the only one I ever missed, the exclusive. And I was playing through some of it, and it's like, it's not like even like, oh, this is an okay port. It's like an amazing fucking port.
That's good.
And it's super depressing because I was playing Last of Us 2 like a month and a half ago, and I was like, man, I would much rather have this on my PC.
Yeah, the shooting would be immensely better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird. Hopefully this is a trend they just continue with, but I know it's not gonna be.
I would have. And I already can't blame them for the exclusives thing, but I would have legitimately no problems if they always did their exclusives and then 2 years later they gave it to every other console.
Oh, man. Are we getting to music?
Yeah, let's get into Leave Britney Alone.
So this made me very happy because you brought it up while we were looking through for the article.
First time I picked the music article.
Yeah, I had to hand it over to him because every time I look for the music article, I'll go through like 3 options just to be like, I don't fucking know about this. And I'm like, okay, fine. And the first time Jesse picked the music article, it's about Britney Spears being held mentally hostage by her father.
It's fucking crazy.
I hope it's not true, but the ugly part of me hopes it is true.
Dude, this article, some of the quotes in there, I was like, this is just admitting guilt. I'm worried for her. I'm joining the Free Britney movement.
I agree. It's dude, Britney Spears is weird, man. She like dropped off the face of the earth after going like the most public breakdown of all time.
Yeah,
we have to say. And then
I was gonna say she was like 16 when she became ridiculously famous.
Yeah,
and then had a mental breakdown like in her early 20s. And who hasn't had a mental breakdown in their early 20s? And like if your friend did all the stuff she did, like because in this article, now I wasn't paying that much attention back in the day, but in this article it referenced the fact that she had a toddler. And she let the toddler sit in her lap while driving, and a picture was taken. If she wasn't on the highway, everyone's done that.
Yeah.
You pick up your kid, you put it in the seat, and you go, look, you're driving. And then you put it back, and you're like, buckle up. That's a normal fucking thing to do to a child.
Yeah.
Everyone does that to their kid. The second one was that she shaved her head bald. Who hasn't done that? And third thing was that she hit a paparazzi's car with an umbrella.
That's
if somebody
not
ran
a breakdown.
Exactly. She wasn't that bad.
That was a very reasonable thing. To be fair, it's been talked about a ton like recently how the media is in charge of Britney's fucking breakdown. It's all their fault.
That's so fucking...
And then during round 2, they're still doing this to people and still ruining it. Miley Cyrus was... If you want to know how bad Britney shit was... Miley Cyrus went through similar things, people said, and then everyone came and was like, no, the fuck, this is not the same thing. The media was targeting Britney.
Miley Cyrus shaved half of her head and then fucking did drugs, and people were like, she's having a mental breakdown. You're like, no, she's every fucking early 20-year-old. Like, she's a totally reasonable person.
Her music got better, too. I was like,
no fucking kidding.
She's really just killing it. But she's... the best thing is like on TikTok, there's a stream of Britney videos where she's with her husband and she's doing like little TikTok dances, and then someone says in the comments like, if you're in danger, wear a yellow shirt in your next video. And then on her Instagram the next day, she has a post with her in a yellow crop top, and everyone's commenting, "Call the cops! Someone help Britney!"
Which, like, I mean, I thought that those were all memes. If there's one article this week to read, it's read the entire thing of this, because there's some quotes from, like, the lawyers that keep her in this, and they're just like, well, she doesn't want to be in it because she doesn't understand her own mental state. And you're like, she's not, Kanye needs to be in whatever the fuck she's in. She doesn't need to be in one of these.
No.
She doesn't seem like a danger to the people around her or herself.
What damage could Britney do financially?
Exactly. And here's the other, they put in how much money she was allowed to spend one year. She spent $400,000 on, like, personal stuff, and it said $60,000 in home supplies. Don't know what the fuck that meant. But
Cage.
yeah, those are her two expenses. You know how much she spent in lawyer fees?
10 bill.
$1.1 million.
Jesus.
And then the next quote has the gall to be like, this thing set up for her is specifically to make, one of its goals is to make sure that she spends money wisely and doesn't, like, blow it all at once during a mental break. And you're like, sir, you're taking $1.1 million a year. That's the unwise part here. She's only spending $400,000 on herself.
Dude.
And her mom doesn't want her to be in it. Britney's asked to be out of it multiple times and has sued to get out of it, and it hasn't worked.
Well, one of the lawyers, didn't he dip out of it? And he was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And then he just would not comment on it.
And the dad used to be making $120,000 off of it, and he's dipped out and handed it off to her caretaker.
Yeah. Isn't that Jamie Lynn?
I have no idea.
I read that Jamie Lynn is either in charge of her now or was in charge of her at one point, which is her sister who got pregnant and then had to leave Zoe 101.
I don't know, man, but all I know is free Britney.
Free Britney.
This shit, unless a video comes out of her looking of sound mind and being like, when I'm on my meds, I understand that I need to be part of this. Then I'd be like, let's change the game. But this seems like blatantly they found a cash cow.
Bro, I don't know. I've seen some her. She has an Instagram. She has one of those. This is how you know that maybe your dad's onto something. She has one of those Instagrams where it's just like her dog has an account, but the dog talks in first person. And she's like, "Mommy took me to the salon today and painted my nails pink." And it was just the creepiest shit ever. So maybe Britney's okay where she is.
Also, this whatever the fuck the name of it, I can't remember, even though I just read the article, has been going on for 12 years now.
Yeah.
And I love, like, the idea is that it's supposed to help keep her mental state normal and keep her okay. She's been on, like, 8 million TV shows and performing and going on tour and in the public eye during those 12 years. I'm just saying, if you're a fucking multi-millionaire, 30 million or whatever she's worth, and you start something to make your mental health better, you would fuck off and pay for an island and live on the fucking island and make some good friends and stay with them.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't keep touring. That's not what mental health is.
She checked herself into like a mental health facility in like 2019. And I was like, how did she get to do that on her own?
Yeah.
It's wild. But free Britney. Get her out of that
Britney.
TikTok cage.
That's the important things plaguing this country right now. Is Britney Spears and what her dad, how much of a piece of shit her dad is.
Yeah, fuck what's his name? Fuck James Spears. All right, going to television now?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Ellen DeGeneres is a piece of shit.
Yeah, if you didn't know, now you know.
My favorite leading up into the shit that was covered in this article. Ellen DeGeneres referred to her being in quarantine as prison. She did this on camera in her living room. That's bigger than our house.
And uploaded it herself.
Yeah.
Didn't catch the irony ahead of time. Didn't get caught off camera saying that nonchalantly.
Yeah. She also was the one who started the fucking Singing Imagine video.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, it was her. It goes her, Portia, and then a bunch of other fucking assholes.
I also liked this article because it just lists all the fucked up shit she did and how it's connected.
Yeah.
For example, Dakota Johnson invited her to a birthday party. Ellen tried to blow it off as like, no, I would have gone because I'm so nice, and got called out. Was like, you just didn't show up. You were invited and you bailed. And then it turned out and she said she couldn't be there because she was in Hawaii or some odd. She was too far away to get there or whatever. Yeah. Turns out that was actually the day before she was in Dallas sitting next to George W. Bush. So, like, Just a fucking monster. Of a
Imagine,
person.
bro. Imagine if you like invited me to your birthday and I was just like, "Oh, I can't make it, dude. I gotta go out of the country." And then the next day you see me on Insta with another fucking war criminal.
Just you and Trump fucking at a fucking Portland game.
It's me and Genghis Khan watching Damian Lillard sink threes. I'd be pissed.
And then you don't have the wherewithal to just like ignore it. You start defending yourself on Twitter.
And then I let you bring it up on my fucking reality show. I think that it also leads into like a bunch of shit that just happens in the entertainment industry with talk shows like this. I personally think these talk shows are super fucking lame. And not just for like I'm a fucking have my head up my ass and think I know everything. They're pretty fucking toxic and just leads to celebrity worship, which again are very basic takes.
Yeah.
But the problem is that on Ellen's show specifically, a ton of people have come out and been like, we're being sexually harassed by executive producers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're focusing on, like, the least of these horrendous charges.
We wanted to stay in the funny stuff and then get into fuck Ellen.
Yeah. There's been a lot of complaints coming from... And it's crazy because they address in this article that, like, complaints came out. Ellen came out and was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I meant for this to be a fun, happy experience." And then the day after that, another one came out, and they're like, there was massive sexual harassment going on.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. And a couple, like, actors that had been on the show came out and were like, we're not surprised. It seemed like a hellhole in there.
Brad Garrett, who played Robert from Everybody Loves Raymond, the best show ever made, straight up just said, Ellen fucking sucks on Twitter. Everyone hates Ellen. But it is one of those things too, because if you, dude, like read the fucking articles too about the people who went through it, because like it's completely fucked, and it was a massive thing where it was like almost everyone on the executive level was doing it. I don't think Ellen was tied to any, but
like
all
she
of her
had to have
fucking
known
execs,
it was going on.
100%.
That's like all the Elon Musk with Ghislaine Maxwell photos and everything else, and you're like, he didn't sell children, and you're like, dude, he knew, like, he knew who this person was.
I don't think
kind of like sitting next to George Bush at a baseball game.
Yeah. Ellen was like, that's in the past.
Jesus. But her show is still going, and I find that to be my favorite part.
I hope her show gets canceled. I think her show is going to get canceled. I genuinely think it's going to end very soon. Ellen's going to take a different role.
I hope it doesn't get canceled. I hope it just slowly dies a sad, painful death of less and less viewers every time.
I don't know, man.
Because it's already started dipping. So you
really?
just need it to just bottom out, and she has to just go into fucking, like, she has to start doing zany shit to try to get more people to watch the show. Maybe it turns into like Rush Limbaugh, and the majority of the viewers are hate watching her. Yeah.
I will say getting a little more dour, the only sad part is that out of everyone has come for the late night talk show hosts over quarantine, and I wish it wasn't fucking Ellen, because she's a gay woman, and she's the only one who got fucking popped for something real. Like, Jimmy Fallon, them, like, they did blackface and stuff back in the day, which, like, of course, not a fucking good thing to do. But, like, they got away with it. It was 10 years ago they gave heartfelt apologies or whatever. If you accept them or not, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But Ellen can't come back from this. So, it sucks. It is a blow to the LGBTQ plus community, but...
That's fair. I feel like they've moved past Ellen. They don't need her as a spokesperson anymore. They don't need George Bush apologists leading the LGBT movement.
I do like that one of the things was that Ellen was at a baseball game with a war criminal, and everyone was just like, he was bad to gay people, and then he was bad
to, like... Oh, my God. Yeah, this article...
No, that wasn't the one that was confused. It was the one about Hurricane Katrina, which was a bad thing, but also
horrid.
People, like, did not bring up the Middle East.
Yo, yeah, the article is like, George Bush, known for being anti-LGBT, which makes sense because he's sitting next to Ellen. Like, I get why they make that reference. Yeah. And then he's like, also known for mishandling Katrina, which mishandling, understatement of the fucking year. Yeah. But also, like, yes... His handling of Katrina, terrible. He also bombed the fuck out of children and tortured people. Like, mishandling a fucking hurricane. At this point, two of our last 3 presidents did that.
Yeah.
I bet we.
And our current one's mishandling a fucking act of God. Oh man, but yeah, fuck Ellen.
Fuck George Bush more though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But he doesn't have a talk show.
Yeah. Yet.
He just paints pictures of immigrants. That's a deep cut of a different article. If anybody's seen that, it's fucking horrendous. Okay, we got one more to get into.
Is the random?
The random.
This is more of an update.
This is for local people. If you're not from Austin, fucking turn it off. We don't want to.
No, if you're not from Austin, thank you. How did you get the video? Share it with your other friends wherever the fuck you are. Again, this is your.
We're so thirsty for clout. Please,
I'll do anything, dude. All
Okay,
right.
we're diving into it.
Yeah.
So, as we know, as we've been telling you every episode for I think 10 episodes now, you should be out protesting if you can, if you're not immunocompromised and you're ready to be safe and do something good for your country. So the Black Lives Matter movement has been in Austin, has been for a long time.
Yep.
And one of their demands, because I will say our police force and the police union fucking terrible. I think the city council has listened to demands decently well so far. But now when push comes to shove and something actually has to be done, not just word of mouth and saying nice things about it, they need to redo the budget for the city. So first thing they did, passed it out to the voters with an online poll saying, here, you get to decide. You make these changes you want.
Yep.
Overwhelmingly, fuck the cops. We want more mental health care. We want more affordable housing, yada, yada, yada. Just spend it anywhere but cops was the fucking answer.
Yeah.
And then everybody's making demands from cutting the police budget in half to completely cutting it. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And cutting $100 million, which
Can I
is
interject
about...
real quick?
Yeah.
When he said, like, fuck the cops, like, I'm telling you, it's not even just that. Like, if you look at the fucking budget, your blood will boil.
Yeah.
Like, the money, like, I put it down to the bare minimum, and it was still more than anything fucking else in the city.
It's over 50%. I don't want to be wrong, but I want to say it's over 50%.
What we can say comfortably is it is an insane fucking number.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. So cutting it by $100 million wouldn't even be moving it to like similarly to how we spend in other departments.
Yeah.
That just puts it like less insanely further than every other department that we can spend money in. And also every fucking study has shown if you spend the money directly on benefiting poor people and people in the communities that have the most crime, it leads to less crime. Means you need less cops. Means less shootings from every fucking direction. So there's literally no argument against this. That being said, we do have lots of arguments against this. So the city council seems pretty determined that they're going to cut at least $100 million or do something to massively overhaul the police. But the problem is you've got the city organizer, who is this unelected fucking twat who gets to decide the city budgets apparently, and then the city council has to approve them. He also is the only one who is allowed to fire the chief of police, Brian Manley, the scaredy cat little pussy bitch. And for whatever reason, multiple people on the city council have called for Chief Manley to have to resign. They can't fire him.
Yeah.
But the city organizer refuses to do it, and they won't fire him. So they're just being spineless bitches about the entire thing.
I wish there was more insight on why this is fucking happening the way it is. It did not. I remember, because again, I don't have a ton of practical knowledge on politics. I know what's right.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting there and hearing that and just being like, no, I don't accept that. Figure it the fuck out.
No matter
it's your
what
job.
side you are on this, you can't look somebody in the eye and say, oh, yes, the mayor should not be allowed to fire the chief of police.
Yeah.
He's the fucking mayor. He should be able to fire, with approval from the city council, whoever the fuck he wants to fire. And then if we don't like that he did that, we will remove him from his position.
Yeah.
But Brian Manley, never elected to be fucking chief of police, and Crunk, or whatever the fuck his name is, never elected to be city manager, or city,
Put
whatever.
them up there. The stink lines.
Yeah, fuck both of these guys. Nobody elected them. They serve no fucking purpose, and they're not listening to the will of the people.
Yeah.
So it's time for the city council, in my opinion, to kick them the fuck out and replace them with people that will listen to the people.
Yeah, I fully agree.
So back to the budget. Basically, what's going to happen is within the next week, they're going to vote on a new budget. And one of the ideas passed is to just cut it by $100 million. Then we'll come back, listen to everybody's different ideas, because there's just dozens of different ideas of how we could handle this.
So the $100 million, that's a short-term solution, and then moving into long-term solutions.
Yes. Now here's the other solutions. We don't cut it at all, and we readdress it in 6 months, which multiple city council members have said that's what they think is right. Fuck you. That's the dumbest shit in the world. You're just going to let cops continue with zero repercussions for what happened in Austin during these protests for 6 more months, so that everybody's tempers can go down a little bit, and then they can not cut it, and people won't be in the streets
I'm
again.
going to be angrier in 6 months.
Yeah, it's they don't understand that we're past the point of you just ignoring it anymore.
The timing is also ridiculous as we're still in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
If this is the end of the fucking pandemic, people go out and like have outlets, then maybe
if there was
I could
one
see this as a good
time
move.
to divest a bunch of budget in your local government and put it towards mental health and physical health and proper housing, it's during a pandemic where people are getting sick, have to stay at home and are losing their fucking homes because they can't work. So it's just ridiculous. We're going to see where it goes. We might be back in a month fucking furious because they didn't cut it.
Yeah.
But it'd just be, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that we need right now to get the perfect plan in place. That's not what needs to happen right now. What needs to happen right now is you cut their budget, you invest it smartly, and we see where that goes, and we learn from that 6 months, and then we'll move forward with a better idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of two minds with it, where I don't know, sometimes right now it just kind of feels like the promise of doing something more drastic in the months to come. Maybe that could be better than $100 million now and then nothing fucking ever.
But you can do $100 million now and then still go drastic later.
I
There's
fucking
nothing
hope.
Stopping you.
I fucking hope. But the thing is, like, so many times in the past, I feel like it has happened where they put a Band-Aid on it and then it just fucking gets let go and people are like, oh no, something happened.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what the fucking right thing to do is. It's obviously not fucking ignoring it, but at the same time, like, if $100 million gets cut off the budget, it really just feels like, again, in 6 months, people are just gonna be like, no, whatever.
The Austin Justice Coalition, a pretty level-minded organization, has said that the $100 million, that's what needs to happen. That's the bare fucking minimum. So the city needs to meet that. That's what the people want. You need to do that now and then work towards the future. Because if they don't hit that, they're just saying, literally outright, that the 2 unelected members that get to serve on these boards and whatnot, they're going to decide Austin's future, and you didn't vote for them.
Yeah, I would rather have those 2 removed.
I don't understand how they have. It seems like in the same way that Nancy Pelosi can't get her fucking teeth out to fight Trump in the first article we talked about, why is Adler not just pulling his fucking dick out, putting it on the table, and saying, you're fired unless you fire him? Like, Trump's done it multiple times, and his base fucking loves it. It fucking
I wish
works.
I could tell you, buddy.
Yeah.
I wish I had a solid answer for why the fucking local government doesn't seem to be, why no fucking government seems to be working. It
The Democrats
sucks
are
ass.
pussies.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But hopefully things will get better. We'll put an update on Twitter in a week. We'll just retweet whatever.
Yeah, or
Austin
I'm
City
sure
Council decides.
next month this is gonna be a random because there's not a lot of news going on except for sad stuff.
But thank you for listening.
Yeah, what do we got? We got next week.
Next week we have another monthly movie review.
Oh fuck yeah!
I'll put a poll up and you guys will decide what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm
again.
fucking cheating this one, dude. Thank you for listening.